This is CLNS Radio, the home of Internet Sports Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Boston Sports Connection right here on CLNS Radio. And with me is my first guest for the night. He's the head coach of the UMass-Lowell hockey team. His name is Norm Bazin. Coach, thank you for joining us tonight on the Boston Sports Connection. How are you?
Sean, it's my pleasure. It's great to be with you.
Well, firstly, I want to obviously mention what a great run your team is on right now. I mean, obviously a little bit of a slow start, but really seem to be clicking on all cylinders right now. A couple of big wins over UNH. Obviously, the big wins over Michigan and Michigan State recently as well. And your team is getting recognized for that. Hockey East, Team of the Week a couple times here. So, firstly, I want to ask you, what can you what can you attest this to as far as how your team is playing right now and these victories that they're running off?
Well, quite honestly, we're improving as a team every week, and I feel that there's a ways to go, but we haven't been making great steps. And these are all close games, and these are great opponents. When you're talking about Michigan and Michigan State and UNH, those are perennial top 10 teams in the country. So we're certainly grateful to get points against those teams. And we're making some steps in our own game.
Yeah, you talk about the Michigan game. Obviously, they were the number 4 team in the country at the time. You guys were able to pull out a 2-1 victory. Obviously, your goalie Connor Hellebuck was instrumental in that and has been instrumental all season. And he's been recognized individually for his play already this season. Talk about what Connor has brought to the team so far this season, and what he's been able to do out there on the ice.
Yeah, certainly both goalies have had good starts. I mean, we stuttered in the beginning, and we've gotten back to Lowell-style hockey. And Connor's, when he's on his game, is an absolute rock back there. And he's a bigger goaltender that takes up a lot of room. And this week, obviously, we split both of them, and they both came out with great outings. So there's no better situation for a coach than to have two capable goaltenders that can go in any time.
Yeah, now you've won 4 games in a row now. Like I said, you guys have started to play very well. But you have a couple of tough games coming up against some big opponents. So talk about the games you have coming up later this week. You have Northeastern, and then obviously traveling to Princeton and in Penn State for obviously back-to-back games there as well. Talk about getting the team prepared for those games.
Yeah, this is certainly a tough stretch, like you said. Northeastern comes into town, and it's a very, very difficult opponent. They've got a lot of top-end forwards, great depth at forward. They've got a very big D-core that's very physical and a very capable goaltender. So that'll be an excellent hockey game on Saturday. Then we turn around and have one day off, and we head right over to Princeton for a Tuesday game, and then back it up with a Thursday, Friday game. And in college, you just don't get that many games in a short amount of time that often. When you're talking about 4 games in 6 days, you really have to get your rest and eat properly and make sure your guys are firing all cylinders. So that's a lot of hockey for these young bodies in a short amount of time. But we feel that we've got some depth ourselves at forward, and we want to use all of it here next week with all these games coming up.
Now, obviously, a lot has been made of Boston Strong and honoring the Boston Marathon survivors and first responders. Obviously, we saw with the Red Sox winning the World Series and having the parade, that they honored the victims and the survivors, obviously, and first responders at the finish line of the marathon during the parade. Talk about what the Riverhawks are planning to do. I know you have a little Riverhawk Strong thing that you've done to honor them as well.
No question. It should be such a great event Saturday for not just a hockey game, but also honoring these true heroes. And you talk about the first responders who went into a tough area at the most difficult time possible, and some real survivors that were able to come through. I think Roseanne Sadeo was one of the survivors. I had a chance to visit her directly after the bombing at Spalding Rehab. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how she's come along. And also we have a couple Lowell residents who have done extremely well and all those responders that we talked about that are absolute heroes. So the game is going to be special from so many different perspectives on Saturday, and we're looking forward to the event.
Great. Now, Coach, I want you to look ahead for a second here. I know it's a little ways away, and obviously there's a lot of hockey to be played between now and in January, but you guys have a pretty special game coming up at the beginning of January, obviously playing outdoors at Fenway Park, which was, great events a couple of years ago when the Bruins were able to play in the Winter Classic there, and a lot of college and hockey teams were able to enjoy that as well. I've never played organized hockey myself, on a pond a little bit growing up, and obviously I imagine you yourself and everybody, a part of the team grew up playing outdoors. What's that going to be like for, you and your coaching staff and obviously your players and even your opponent, playing outdoors at a facility like Fenway Park, especially after what just happened?
Well, no question. You talk about the World Championship. There's such a sports fever right now in New England, with the Red Sox doing so well, the Celtics getting started, and the Bruins being a hot team for years. It's exciting, and Fenway Park, what an event it's going to be for our guys and our staff. I mean, I had the good fortune of playing on ponds growing up. A lot of these young kids have never played outdoors, and what an opportunity they're given here to be playing outdoors at a place where they may have watched a baseball game or two in the summer, but to bring their family along in the trip. So it truly is a group affair, not just for our players and staff, but their families and the school as a whole to support their team.
Fantastic. Well, that's definitely going to be something to look forward to. But like I said, you guys have plenty of hockey to play between now and then. Some tough games coming up in November here, and then obviously a full slate of schedule in December before you even get to that point. But, Coach, I really appreciate you spending some time with me today to shed some light on the season going on. I hope to have you on again soon, and good luck the rest of the way this season with Riverhawk Hockey.
Sean, thanks for the support. We'll look forward to seeing you at the game.
I will definitely be attending the game or two this season. Always love to take the kids out. It's a fantastic, fantastic environment to watch a hockey game for sure.
No question. We'll
Thanks,
look forward
Coach.
to it. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate the time.